Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wise Woman Wednesday. Hello. Thank you so much for everyone in the chat who already said hi and that they could or couldn't be here, that they were listening in the background. I so appreciate you. Super shout out to Liz for being in Scotland and saying hello. Much love to Stacy Sunshine, who's also going to be listening in afterwards. My girl JLo is here. She's listening in the background. I've got Angela Baby Carson here, and I've got big sis Shelly. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. So before I get started, before I jump into things, let me know that you can hear me okay, see me okay. I'm not going to be playing any music. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy today. I'm literally just going to be talking. I'm going to bring up some points for about 30 minutes or so, and then I'll open the floor up for questions. But I'm not going to be paying attention to the chat as much as I have been or in another live. So I'm going to go ahead and set the scene. I want to ground us today. I feel jittery because I'm presenting, so I need to go ahead and calm myself down to make sure that this space is calm for everyone else. So if you are busy, if you're multitasking and you're doing other things, feel free just to breathe with us. But if you are in a space where you can sit down, close your eyes, place your hand on your chest, do something where you can just stop for a moment and breathe with me. I would love for you to do that. So I'm going to count us down. We're going to do about 5 breaths, and I'm going to count us out for the first 2 of them, and then I'm going to do the last 3 silently so that I can get a chance to breathe as well, because I can't talk you guys through it and breathe myself, right? I've got some Palo Santo here, some very gentle cleansing incense. This doesn't take away all of the energy. It just takes away the negative energy. So we're just going to clear the space, keep my mind clear, keep your guys' hearts and ears open and ready and clear. We do nothing without our spirit. We do nothing without the Most High. And so taking a moment now to go ahead and breathe. So we're going to be breathing in for the count of 4. We're going to hold for the count of 4. We're going to breathe out for a count of 8. And then we're going to hold for a count of 4. All right. So go ahead and do a quick cleansing breath. And we're going to breathe in 2, 3, 4. We're going to hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold 2, 3, 4. In 2, 3, 4. Out. Hold 2, 3, 4, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold 2, 3, 4. In 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I'm going to do it myself. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing this time and the space for that. Um, What's up, the accidental chemist? Much love and much love to Jana. So glad to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Jana says that she's dog sitting, but she's going to be listening in. Oh, thank you for that. She said, my hair looks especially pretty. I definitely appreciate that because even though I'm in Myrtle Beach and it's wintertime, the humidity is still humiditying and it is, doing what it wants to do. So thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to hide the chat, okay, because I do have some notes for me to go through. Because today we're talking about the fact that women actually do know their bodies. You know your body. You have literally been trained and taught to ignore it, to override it, to shut it down, to just to tell it to be quiet, when you have all of the intuition that is telling you exactly what needs to happen, but we have just been conditioned not to listen to it. So if you're here tonight and you feel tired, you feel disconnected from your body, or like you need someone else's permission or someone else to educate you in order to understand what's going on with your body, I want you to know something right now, that there is nothing wrong with you. Okay? There is nothing wrong with you. And there was never anything wrong with you. Most women are confused. So most women aren't confused because they're incapable. They're confused because they have been taught to override themselves. We have been taught to override hunger, to override our cycles, our menstrual cycles, to override our intuition, to override our rest, to override all of those quiet signals in favor of the experts, in favor of systems, of plans, of rules. Um, Tonight, I am not talking about fixing your body at all. Tonight is not about learning something new, okay? Tonight is all about remembering something ancient, something that is true. So, your body is not betraying you. It has never been betraying you. Your body is your best friend, and it has been communicating to you this entire time. And, for Wise Woman Wednesdays, this is a space where we slow the conversation down, and we stop forcing answers, and we literally just start listening again. We don't need degrees, we don't need protocols. All we need is to reorient. All we need is to realign and take a moment to listen. So that is what we're going to be discussing today. Um, what is some of the things? How do you view your body? How have you viewed your body your entire life? How have we been conditioned to view our body? What is our body? Most of the time, the way that we have been conditioned is that your body is just a meat suit, and you are in control of your body, and you're supposed to keep it in line. You're supposed to do x y. You're supposed to, right? um, we believe that there is such thing as a good body and a bad body. Where did these beliefs come from? Where did your beliefs about your body come from? Are these beliefs that you're holding, are they truth, or are they lies? Just because we have been taught something, just because we have been conditioned in a certain way, doesn't mean that that way is the truth. Doesn't mean that that way is the only way. Um, so the body is not an obstacle to overcome. The body is a communicator. It has a specific language that we have never been taught how to interpret. We have never been taught how to listen to. And what does listening actually mean, right? What are the questions that have never been asked or answered because they were never asked when you take away all of the things that you have been told, right? The body has its own language, and it signals. Symptoms are signals. Normally, symptoms are the last resort that the body uses to communicate to you that something needs attention. We have been conditioned to believe that hunger means we're undisciplined, or fatigue means that we're lazy, or that pain means that something is irreversible, or that emotions mean that we're unstable. These simple and normal symptoms are signals that the body is giving us, letting us know that there's something else we need to pay attention to, not the symptom or the signal itself. You know, we've been conditioned by the hustle culture, by the pharmaceutical culture. Pop a pill, right? That will take away the symptom. Pop a pill. Take the birth control pill. That's one of the number one pills that is pushed on women is the birth control pill, right? And this is supposed to fix your cycle, fix your menstruation. It's supposed to fix you. You were never broken. But taking this pill keeps you from having to learn what it is your body is actually communicating to you. We have been conditioned by the diet trends. Oh, you're supposed to be eating keto. You're supposed to be eating carnivore, vegan, pescatarian, eat more fat, eat less fat, eat this, eat that. And we just do these things because, again, the experts tell us to, that we're just supposed to be following these rules, following these guidelines, and we won't feel these symptoms. We put a band-aid over it, right? When you have pain in your knee, ibuprofen. Allergies, allergy medicine. When you have a cold, when you have a cough, all you're focused on is getting rid of the mucus or stopping the cough, getting rid of the migraine, right? But these symptoms are the signals that the body is using to communicate what is a deeper issue that needs attention. And I'm not telling you to do anything. All I'm asking you right now is to notice, what is your go-to reaction when it comes to how your body is speaking to you? We have literally been trained. As soon as something happens to us, we think something immediately about ourselves and about our body that may or may not be true, but we've been conditioned to think something specific immediately when we have cravings, when we feel hungry, or when we're tired, when we have acne, when we have pain. We've been triggered to think something about ourselves. I'm lazy. I'm not doing something right. I'm not eating right. This is bad, right? This is bad. We've been conditioned to think something about our bodies, that our bodies are broken, that our bodies are out of control. Women in particular, because we are so different from men, we have been made to feel like our body is complicated. Just because there are more layers, just because there is more nuance, doesn't make it complicated. It means that a specific language is needed in order to interpret what the body is telling us. All we have to do is become interpreters. And every single body is unique. Every single body has its own language. Woman, listen to me. Your body has a different language than your sister, than your mother, than your daughter. There is a difference. because we're unique. Each and every woman is unique. And so you have to learn your own language. Can an expert, doctor, coach, somebody, midwife, can they point you in the right direction and tell you what you're supposed to be looking for? Yes, of course. But if you are outsourcing your authority, if you are outsourcing your critical thinking, if you are outsourcing your knowledge over your intuition, you are missing the mark. And I'm not telling you that you have to become a doctor to learn about yourself. I'm telling you that what you already know about yourself is true, and you just need to trust it. You just need to trust it and be able to interpret it in the right way. So for those of you guys listening or just tuning in, this is Wise Woman Wednesday. I'm not paying attention to the chat. I will take questions for the last 15 minutes afterwards. But for now, I'm literally just going in. So thank you guys so much for chatting. Definitely don't let me stop you from being in the chat. I just want you to know that I'm not paying attention to it, and I will get to questions here at the end. Okay, so yes, we were trained by diet culture, productivity. Not only were we trained by these, not only were we trained, but we were praised and rewarded for overriding our internal signals. Okay. Trained to push through, right? How many of us women are going to work right now? How many women go to work during their cycle, when they're menstruating? We've been praised and rewarded for pushing through the fatigue, pushing through the pain, pushing through the low energy, because we are so resilient. We're so productive. We are so in control of our bodies that we're just pushing through, right? We get praised for that. But that our body isn't out of control. Okay. There is literally a cycle that women go through. And if you're on the pill, my sister, I'm sorry, but you are forcing an unnatural cycle that is harming you more than it's helping you. If you were not on the pill and you were on your regular normal cycle, you would notice something different. If you are just taking the pill in order to stop feeling certain signals, symptoms that are normal, then you're missing the story that your body is actually trying to tell you. And of course, I know that there are many people who are not on the pill. So I'm not trying to ostracize people who are on the pill. Do what you got to do. Take the advice that you want. But I'm trying to give you a different perspective on looking at your body. So, I'm just looking at my notes here. I don't want to talk too fast. I want to make sure I'm hitting all of my points here. Okay. So as I mentioned before, symptoms are the final stage that the body presents when it is being ignored and unheard. When a symptom occurs, 10 times out of 10, when a symptom occurs, that is the final stage of your body trying to get your attention. When you've gained weight, when you are burnt out and fatigued, when your anxiety is through the roof, when your hormones are out of chaos, these are the last messages that are sent to you, letting you know that there is something underlining that needs attention. And the danger And there is much danger in responding only when something breaks, right? If we are responding only when we have a headache, or responding only when we feel pain or feel something, that's the only time we respond, then we're really running to the fire after the house is already burning down. Excuse me as I take a sip here. Mm. Whew. So there are a lot of signals that our body gives us that are more than just symptoms, right? So when people think of symptoms, they think of cold symptoms, right? There are other types of symptoms, are acne, hair falling out, weight gain. There is a lot of different things that can manifest in the body. And one of those things that manifests in the body is emotions. Your body is so in tune with you. It knows you better than you know yourself, and it reflects back to you exactly who you are. Your body reflects back to you exactly who you are. Your body reflects back to you the way that you think. It reflects back to you your emotional state. It reflects back to you your imagination. It reflects back to you your beliefs and your perceptions. The body does not know the difference between the past, the present, and the future. To the body, it's all happening right now. And the body is communicating with you every single day what it needs in order to reach stability, in order to reach balance, in order to live its most vibrant life. Your body is literally your survival mechanism, and it is your best friend, and it tells you exactly what it needs, what you need in order to thrive, not just survive, but to thrive. Because the body wants to thrive, the body wants to be at its peak, it wants to perform as it was meant to perform, and it's always trying to get back to that baseline of what it's supposed to be. And if you're treating your body as a meat suit, as just something that you're just attached to, and you don't realize that you're conditioning it. The way that you eat has conditioned it. The body adapts. The body is extremely adaptive, and it will adapt itself to whatever environment you have placed on it, whatever pressures you have placed onto it. The body will adapt and try to lower or raise certain hormones or whatever chemicals in the body, levels in the body, in order to meet stability and balance in that given environment with that given pressure. Okay. There is a difference between knowing what to eat versus knowing when, why, and how. Okay, there's a difference between information and relationship. Right now, if you are just trying to find something to help with the symptoms, then you are just taking information and acting on information without understanding the relationship. The relationship comes first. Your relationship with yourself, with your body, comes first. This is why protocols fail without attunement, because you're just picking a diet because you heard this diet was right. You're just picking a medication because you were told this medication is going to stop the pain. But when you go to the doctor, and you ask these questions, you might not even have all of the questions that you actually want to ask. You forget because you don't write them down, but it's like a deer in the headlights, right? It's like, I don't understand this language. I don't understand this jargon. Just tell me what I need to do in order to feel better. But we have to learn how to have relationships with our body as a living system, not as a checklist. Okay? Your body is a temple, a living temple. It is housing one of the most important, one of the most incredible, one of the most phenomenal creations on earth. You, you. Your body is housing you. 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 Do you know that you are unique? Do you know how vital you are? Do you know that there is nothing, that there are only certain things that you can create on this earth? And if you're so worried giving your autonomy, giving your agency, giving your power to someone else and just taking what they say as law, as truth, and just trusting them, you are missing a critical aspect of yourself. There is a difference between protocols, plans, rules, and labels that you have collected. Their knowledge can give you control, but it cannot give you peace. There is more than just knowing. There is understanding. Because when you understand, you can actually implement. And that's when you can actually attune. So the first step in moving forward is not actually taking action, right? I'm not asking anybody to take action right now. I'm asking you to give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to slow down. Give yourself permission to observe. Give yourself permission to ask questions. If there's nothing wrong with your body, if your body is actually reacting and acting in a way that it was meant to react, then what does that say? If your body was meant to react in a certain way, and if it's doing everything exactly as it was meant to do, and there's nothing wrong with you, what does that say about the symptoms? What does that say about your body? What does that say about you? If the way that it's reacting is correct, if cramping is what's supposed to happen, if a migraine, if acne, if joint pain, if weight gain is the way that the body is supposed to work, and there's nothing wrong with the body, there's nothing to fix with it. I hope this is getting across. I know it can be a little bit repetitive, but truth is repetitive because you don't need anything else underneath of it. It stands on its own. So give yourself permission to trust the signals before you try to fix them. So that is pretty much my presentation for tonight. My goal for this series is to give you enough empowerment that you feel like you understand yourself more. I want you to be able to interpret what your body is telling you exactly as it is. So if you were to notice right now, what is your baseline? Not what you want your baseline to be, not what you think your baseline should be, not what you want your baseline to be. What is your baseline right now? What do you feel right now? Not to fix it, but just to hear, just to listen, just to understand and interpret. I'm tired. I have low energy. I have pain here. I feel hungry. I'm craving something. I feel emotional. I feel anxious. I feel sad. Notice these things. That's it. That's step one. And don't beat yourself up for it. Don't beat your body up for the way that it's reacting, because it's reacting exactly as it should in the environment that it is in. The body reacts to stress. The body reacts to environments. The body reacts to chemicals, and the list goes on and on and on. The body reacts exactly as it should, and there's nothing wrong with you. So what would happen if you stopped and listened to it? All right. Let me jump into the chat here and see what's going on. Oh, Wayne was here. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Mama. It's good to see you, Mama Love. Yes, exactly. Your body will tell you what's wrong and what's right. So now the last 10 to 15 minutes is going to be questions. So if you have a question, please put it in the chat with at least 3 question marks in the front. That way we know, or that way I know that you have a question for me, and that you're not and that you're just not chatting in the chat. So I'll keep it open for a little bit longer for questions, questions about anything at all. I'm here. This series, we're going to go through different things specifically for us women, for our bodies, things that can help us. We're going to build our toolbox. We're going to build our arsenal. We're going to build upon the knowledge we already have, so that we understand and can implement with authority. We can implement with confidence. That is my goal. So if there are no questions, then great. This was a short presentation, and I'm okay with it, because I was so nervous coming on here. But we push through. Nerves just is excitement, and I keep it cool, keep it calm. I'm gonna drink my tea. If there are any questions about what I had to talk about, or even just comments. I mean, the questions, put the three question marks, but if you just want to have a comment, go ahead and drop your comments now. And then I will close this out. These Wise Women Wednesdays are transmissions, just to give us a time to slow down and listen and understand. Whew. I feel like I should be doing so much more, and I realize that is my old frequency. I have presented a lot tonight, and I want you guys to be able to chew on that. Keep cool and chive on. I love it. Chives are amazing, by the way. I was growing some chives at one point. I have been on my health journey about learning what my body is actually telling me. I have read so many books that tell me what I'm supposed to do, but it's not about what you're supposed to do. It's about understanding it. Exactly. I have always known the body knows. No worries, baby Angela, of course. I have not heard of Louise Hay. Well, have I heard of Louise Hay? I feel like that sounds familiar, but I don't know. No, I like the name sounds familiar, but I don't know. I can't place her. Please enlighten me. I would love to know who Louise Hay is. It is an ongoing process. That's another thing that I want you guys to know is that you should be consistently and constantly learning something new about yourself and your body. If you're not learning something new about yourself, then you're stagnant. If you're stagnant, then you're not living, you're not growing, and when you're stagnant, you also are dying because you're not moving forward. This journey that we're on, this adventure that we're on, as long as we're here on this earth realm, it will never end. There's always going to be something new to learn, to implement, to understand. So don't ever feel like you're going to be like, oh yep, I know my body, I know everything about my body, and there's nothing else to learn. There's nothing, because things change as you grow. There are going to be new things to learn and understand. I'm actually going to look up Louise Hay right now because I'm curious. Angela Baby Carson says that her heart needs dolls. Oh, that's cute. We all got to collect something. All right, hold on. Let me actually... I'm going to share my screen. All right. And then... Oh, wait, let me put this... Let me... Let's see, did I do that right? Oh, yes, she looks very familiar. She looks very familiar. I don't think I've ever, like, listened to her, but I have seen her pop up before. Oh, yes, she talks about thoughts. Oh, yes, Louise Hayes. She is not wrong. She wrote a book like a reference tool to translate the symptoms into limiting beliefs. That's phenomenal because your thoughts, like I said earlier, your body literally manifests your thoughts, your emotions. They're all trapped in your body. And I definitely agree that there are certain limiting beliefs. And I love that she went ahead and she picked, specific ones and told you what those are. I would definitely be interested to read that book. For sure. And I also too I probably don't have to say this, but I'm not an expert. Okay? I am not a know-it-all. Okay? I don't want anyone to look at me and think that, and I don't want to ever come across as if I'm anything but a student. Students have to have students need to teach in order to learn and to continue to learn. They have to continue to teach. So I am a student teacher. I'm a student mentor. I'm constantly and consistently learning. If I ever learn something that I was incorrect or wrong about, I will immediately fess up to it. If you hear me say something that you know is incorrect, please don't hesitate to let me know, because I am completely happy to be wrong. And I look forward to learning more. And I will go back and research what you told me, and I will, do my research and all of that. Big Sis says, I've learned that when sick, there is a reason for your body to create and get rid of body mucus, and never take a pill to dry it up. Because drying it up is not the way the body works. 100,000%, Big Sis. The runny nose, the sore throat is the last resort, is the last thing that happens to let you know. And if we dry up that mucus, then the body can't detox as it was meant to. This goes for acne. This goes for bad breath. This goes for hair loss. This goes for weight gain. This goes for arthritis. This goes for anything and everything. When the body is presenting excess of something, it's letting you know that there is attention needed elsewhere, not on the symptom. Cramping, my girls, cramping means not that you're doing something wrong, but that the body would like you to pay attention to something else in order for you to not feel cramping. Simple as that. Big sis knows what I'm talking about. Big sis knows what I'm talking about. All right, you guys. Let's see. So I want to leave you with just one final thought tonight. Something I had already said because I, was getting ahead of myself, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. If your body is not the problem, if these signals aren't just random, if exhaustion, if cravings, if symptoms and cycles were just normal information instead of something that was inconvenient, then the next step isn't discipline. It isn't motivation. It's not about trying harder. The next step is learning how to listen without pressure, without forcing, without outsourcing your authority. And Wise Woman Wednesday, it is never about answers. Okay, it's about asking questions. It's about rebuilding relationship with yourself, with your body. And next week, we'll begin exploring what it actually looks like when we are hearing our body clearly, and why most healthy women are too overstimulated to notice the signals and the signs in the first place. All right. So until then, don't try to change anything. Don't try to implement something new. Just take a moment to notice. Take a moment to observe. And that is more than enough. That is the first step. All right. Well, ladies, I don't think there's anything else in the chat. Oh, thank you, big sis. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And I hope to see everyone again next week, Wednesday, 7:30 for Wise Woman Wednesday. I look forward to talking with you guys again. Make sure you bring your tea, and let's go ahead and notice what's happening in our bodies together. I love you guys so